I want you to imagine something. So clear your mind and imagine well. A version of our world, very much like our own, but dimmer, sadder, less entertained. People struggle to be entertained. Yes, there are movies. Yes, there are books. Yes, there is music. But something is missing. Yes, something is missing. Some artists have not found a way to express themselves in this world. Back during World War II of this world, US soldiers struggled to fight in the war due to a lack of war bonds. The Superman does not exist, even though he is an American idea. The very idea of combining words with art together could only ever be found in children's storybooks and Japanese manga. The idea of the American comic book was never born in this world and refused to be born. My point is, comic books have had a profound effect on American society, and without comic books, there would be many things we wouldn't have. For example, the ankle monitor, a device commonly used to keep monitoring those who are under house arrest, was only developed because of a US judge reading a Spider-Man comic strip. And of course, that isn't the only thing comic books have done. Traditionally, fiction is a method of escape from the terrors of the real world, and Superman helped with that escape. When people were suffering from the Great Depression and the upcoming World War II, Superman was there to help bring some comfort into imagining, what if there was a man who was just super in every way to save the day? And I did not intend for that to rhyme. And when World War II did roll around, Superman along with other superheroes became even more prevalent, including a certain star-spangled man with a plan. That's right, during this time Captain America was born, and he was born for a very specific reason: selling war bonds. That's why I mentioned US soldiers struggling in that other world, as the selling of comic books helped aid our world's US soldiers. Superhero comics like Captain America were also a form of propaganda to promote the war. And if you don't believe me, in his first issue, you can see him punching Hitler. That issue sold over 1 million copies. Yeah, that's right, he punched Hitler that many times.
I understood that reference.
Comics were even a unique way for an artist and writer to express themselves. Even during when the Comics Code Authority forced comics to be tamer, there were outliers in this era with the underground comics movement. It was a way to fight back against the CCA and tell them to suck it. Like, suck it! Like, suck it! Of course, comics' influence on society hasn't been always so great. While they weren't turning people into dastardly homosexuals like author and psychiatrist Frederick Wortham believed, some comics did influence the worst parts of people. Some cops have the Punisher logo on their car to represent how they are inspired by the hero for crossing a line that they can't. Oh, what's that line that you ask? Oh, it's killing people. Like, you commit a crime, I'm gonna shoot you now. No, please don't shoot me! I was innocent! No, I have a family! Punisher is a warning against what it means to take the revenge route. You are not supposed to look up to him, nor are you supposed to even think that crossing the line is a good idea. Similar goes with the Joker, except he's just a fucking serial serial killer, and people still idealize him and do a bunch of heinous because of him. People have died because of comic books. If my last point didn't, say that some people are probably dying because of comic books. And while that is a generalization of how a lot of people have met their fate, that isn't to say comic books are inherently evil. I did just mention a bunch of good stuff before I mentioned all the bad stuff. And there is more good and bad stuff to talk about in the influence of comic books on our society. You just have to consider it. Because a world without comics is a very hard to imagine world. And it's very hard to imagine my life without comic books, as it has affected my life significantly, in both good and bad ways. Ooh. Dude, what are you guys doing here? The video's over. Go! Come on, just get out of here. This is the end. Jesus.